What's going on, guys? My name is Matt and I am back with a new PC build. This time the price point is $650, and for that price you're getting a very powerful system. This video, like the last few new part builds, is going to be a full build guide. I'm not only going to be showing you each of the parts and why I picked them, but I'm also going to be showing you how to put everything together step by step. And finally, I'm going to be showing you both gaming and streaming benchmarks, because believe it or not, the $650 PC is pretty good at streaming. Well, there are obviously tons of different ways you could have spent this budget. I went with parts that I know are quality, that'll work well together, and will last you a long time. If you're watching this video when it's first coming out, then you probably know that the PC part inventory is kind of crazy right now. For that reason, I'll be giving you a few different alternatives for some of the parts in this video, but if you're watching this in the future when the inventory is returned to normal, then lucky you. So let's kick things off by talking about the CPU. What I went with is the AMD Ryzen 3 3100. This is a quad-core CPU with hyper-threading that boosts up to 4 GHz. I got this for $105, and for that price it offers great gaming performance. It runs on AMD's latest Zen 2 architecture and is a great value for the money. If this isn't available or is way over MSRP, a good alternative is the Ryzen 5 1600AF. This isn't going to be quite as good gaming performance wise, but for stuff like streaming and video editing, this may be the better choice because it has 2 extra cores. This currently also comes in a little over $100 and again is a decent alternative. Both of these CPUs come with a Wraith Stealth cooler, which comes free in the box and is what we'll be using to cool our CPU. This cooler works well and keeps things relatively cool and quiet. Moving on to the motherboard, this is probably the hardest hit part in terms of stock. What I went with for this build is the ASRock B450M Pro 4. This is my absolute favorite AM4 motherboard, coming in normally at $75, but it's also a great pick because it has 3 other boards that offer very similar features and the exact same layout that would be good alternatives and would still allow you to follow this guide. These include the Pro 4F, the Pro 4/AC, and the Steel Legend. Again, all of these are B450M boards from ASRock and would work fine for this build. I really like the B450M Pro 4 because it has a ton of features like dual M.2 slots and 4 DIMM slots. It also has a decent VRM setup, so if you decide to overclock in the future, then you'll have that option. For RAM, I went with 16GB of XPG DDR4 RAM at 3200 MHz. For $65, this is a really good value for the money and is a good option for pairing with budget Ryzen processors. 16GB is more than enough for gaming and is good enough for light streaming and video editing. Moving on to storage for this build, I went with a single 500GB SSD from Silicon Power. This is a relatively basic SSD, but it's still miles better than a hard drive. 500GB is a good amount of storage to start out with and should give you a while to save up to upgrade the storage in the future if you so choose. For the graphics card, I went with an NVIDIA GTX 1660 Super. This is the EVGA SC Ultra model and is a great 1080p graphics card. I really like this EVGA one because it looks cool in my opinion and has a backplate, but all of the 1660 Supers are going to perform similarly to one another, so if this one isn't in stock, I'll leave links to a few other 1660 Supers in the description below. To power this system, I went with the 500-watt Thermaltake Smart PSU. This is 80+ certified and provides plenty of clean power to the entire system. It does have ketchup and mustard cables, but at $50, it's a good value for the money. Also, it's not modular, but that's not a big deal because of the case we're using. To hold all these parts, I went with the Thermaltake H18TG. For around $60, I like this case a lot. It has a TG. For around modular, but that's not a big deal because of the case we're using. To hold all these parts, I went with the Thermaltake H18TG. For